In our journey through John, we've gone through 5 verses, and I'm not going to stop every time after we get to the end of a paragraph, but it's important to remember that oftentimes the single unit of thought is actually the paragraph and not necessarily the sentence, and certainly not the verse. Sometimes the verses will even cut sentences in half. So in this case, we have this prologue of the book of John, the first 18 verses, which is setting the stage for the entire book to meet the purpose that John reminds his readers in verse 20, verses 30 and 31 at the end, that Jesus is God, and that believing in him, you can have life in his name. So let's take a minute, let's look at what this first paragraph is saying. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. This opening thesis in this paragraph, and then in the prologue, and then actually for the whole book, is saying the idea is that Jesus is God. And it goes on to bring out the major themes right here in the beginning. Where Jesus was in the beginning, who he's the creator, life, light, the light of men, light shining in darkness, darkness not overcoming it. And then we're going to see in this prologue that for the next few verses, this is going to continue, this idea. And so why am I pausing to share this? Because I think we need to meditate on this paragraph. We need to think about what it's really saying as it's opening up the book of John. Jesus is deity. He is Lord. And that is so importantly significant. It also helps us to remember that as we read the entire rest of the book, this is the primary thesis. And so we'll see Jesus do 7 signs to prove that he's God. We'll see him make 7 I am statements to prove that he is God. We will see that salvation is found only in Jesus, because that's the other part of the thesis. So what are you going to do with this? I want to encourage you to continue to process this. Read the whole paragraph, think on it, meditate on it. And even my challenge to you is to read verses 1 through 18, the whole prologue, and then we're going to dig in again, verse by verse, starting in verse 6.